Julia is local, but for you, I figured you guys can find inspiration in here by looking at his life, studying his life. This is something that we do later when I get my students, nice and relaxed and no meditation, and once all the stress is over, then you study the life of Buddha. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If there's active stress in your life and you study the life of Buddha, let's go over here to this one over here when he was a baby. We just had Vesak, the holiday of Vesak. So that's his mother, Maya, not to be mistaken with Mara, because Mara is a psychological demon. That's the forces of evil. And 7 days after he was born, his mother passed away. So that was the first and great big loss that, as a human, that he experienced. And he reflected deeply on that. So he was actually a very emotional man back in the day, reflecting on the suffering of humans because he first went through it himself. This is the future Buddha. This is Venerable Maitreya. That is his first 5 disciples. When he started after his enlightenment, the 5 disciples that was with him before achieving enlightenment, he says, listen y'all, I'm going to branch out and do my own thing. And they're like, okay dude, well good luck. So when he came back as an enlightened being, they're like, who are you? Why are you so different? And he says, well, I'm the Buddha now. And they were like, oh, well, what's so special about you? And he says, well, have I spoken like this? Have I ever conducted myself as such? So they were so convinced about his realization that they came back and he became his first 5 disciples. And then over here we have Mahaparinibbana, which is his passing away at age 80. He knew he was going to pass away. Which is one of the awesome things about meditation practices is that if you practice right, you actually know when you're going to die. And if you live life well, good likelihood is a good death. In other traditions, they actually are so in tune with their bodies that when they passed, or when we've had arahants that before they passed away, they knew exactly when they were going to die. So actually, they took their prostrations in front of the Buddha and then subsequently departed right after that. Just literally like died after prostrating to the Buddha. So anyone who is afraid of death and who diligently practices meditation knows when you're going to clock out. And you put all of your business in order in life. Say what needs to be said. Ask for forgiveness. And there's nothing worse than being on your deathbed and realize that you don't have much time left. Or just the regrets. Now I want to take you guys behind here, which is where they meditate. Little houses that crawl in like this big, and people actually crawl in there and practice meditation, just like in the Thai forest tradition back then. We're lucky to get to do this before it starts to pour down. That's when you like, oh my hair! my teacher actually built this. He actually went to Texas. He's now residing in Texas. My direct teacher, who supervises over me, Venerable Dickman, he actually hand-built these himself. I think it took like a whole year to do every single one of these. It was his way of contributing to the temple. Yeah. Like him, myself, we're just visitors, and it is not our temple. This is actually your temple. And I actually don't identify with any temples, actually. I just like people to think that I'm a wandering monk, a wandering ascetic, just like the Buddha. The Buddha had no one set place. Matter of fact, his temple, his place was actually in the forest underneath the tree. And it's the idea of concepts. Oh, where do you belong? Where are you? And what are you? I'm in the wind. Just like our breath, in the wind. The impermanent nature of all of us. I could be here one day and I may not be here one day. Just like the Buddha. You know? But so these are, in Thailand, you know, they built these kutis. And actually, a monk's life is confined to this. If you have this, this is actually luxury. This is considered a mansion if you were a monk. Just to have one of these in the forest, and in the morning you wake up with an alms bowl, a baking bowl, and you wander around the villages to get your food. You come back, you eat, you study, you meditate, and repeat. And you do walking meditations. Which from time to time I teach walking meditations here, which is basically, you know, shoes off, feet touches the floor, and you're basically kissing the earth with your feet. You're going to feel the gravel, you're going to feel the gravel, you're going to feel everything. You're going to feel the cold soil, so on and so on. But yeah, they come out here at night, they're really into it. This temple is located in the city where it's noisy, so this is the most quietest spot we could find. Yasuko! This is a really beautiful statue here that is really worth stopping and reflecting. And just to realize that each and every single one of you have this. This is actually you. In the instant of a moment, through the breath, this can actually be you. The Buddha within. So, you know, these are good reminders that when you look at the statue of a Buddha in the home, you realize that, wow, the Buddha's in me and I'm in the Buddha at any point in time. Because in life, it pulls you different directions. Your phone, people who are real, who are talking, who are stimulating your life. But then when you see a statue, you're like, oh, great. I mean, good for him, he achieved enlightenment. But through diligent practice, you can actually experience the same thing that he has done. We monks actually can sit in front of the Buddha all day, recollecting on his qualities, the 9 qualities of a Buddha. It's actually one of the 4 protective meditation functions. And that's what it does, is that it actually protects you from life. When we meditate on the 9 qualities that makes up a Buddha, of what a Buddha is, what Buddha does, you know, because what is the job of a human? Is to forget. The primary job of a human is to forget. They forget everything. They forget to do this, they forget to do that. The mindfulness meditation is to not only live present here in life, but to always to remember to observe how your mind is jumping. That's what mindfulness means. To remember to observe how our mind is jumping. And once your mind jumps, your emotion jumps. Everything else jumps. All over the place. Very psychologically disorganized. And it leads to a very disorganized life. So, a lot of people sit in front of the TV and they really get a kick out of HBO and Netflix, but I can actually sit right here with my little meditation cushion and just stare right into his eyes and realize the long list of things to do that I have to do to not come back in this lifetime. I don't know about you guys, but COVID was enough. Everything that we have seen now, a wise, prudent person should be able to say, that's enough. I don't ever want to come back to this lifetime. And the only way to do it is through meditation. You achieve full enlightenment, no desire. All you have to do is let go of 3 things to not come back in this lifetime. Desire, which is greed, anger, and ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. It's actually easier than you think, but it can be done. And he was proof that a human being can in fact achieve full enlightenment. Buddhists are, we're empiricists. I mean, the things that we can see, measure, and do ourselves, and see results for ourselves. This is not based on blind faith. The Buddha never said, yeah, you guys should believe everything I say and just, that's just that. So what do you guys think of the temple?
It's really nice.
Yeah, pretty zen. Yes. A lot of visiting monks. The monks that live here are the 2 primary monks. There's the Venerable Bufula, Venerable Chieftain, who's the abbot. I come by once in a while, from time to time. I sometimes go to my parents' house to work on my book. I sometimes go to other temples in Sarasota, Bradenton. I travel a lot. Wherever I'm needed, I will go there to teach. I don't stay in one spot because I want to exemplify impermanence. I'm never permanently in one spot or doing one thing. And once this book is released, I'm going to be actually traveling a lot. Seattle and all these places. The world is vast and a person should travel a lot. Why? Because it changes your view and perspective in life when you travel. When you see suffering in other countries, you realize, oh, what the Buddha wasn't wrong after all. I see death, old age, sickness, disease, decay. And the problem here in America is people stay in one spot and they're, because of perpetual self-interest, they're just stuck in their own, I am depressed. I am stuck in this situation. I can't find the right person. I this, I that. Too much I statements, that's the ego. And that's what causes a lot of suffering. So as you travel, not only you're paying for the experience, it's an experience of a lifetime in different places and around the world. But it changes the way how you see things. And once your heart is moved, you change and you don't even know you're changing. There's a mango tree here. I actually like it when it's this quiet. And I only take people here when it is this quiet. When they have festivities and stuff like that, I hide.
So like the bang, you weren't here for that?
No, I was not. I was not. Especially Vietnamese temples, I hide far away. Why? Because I used to be an interpreter. I used to engage directly with the public. So, of course, once they see me, they realize, oh my God, there he is. Court case is coming up. My son is in jail. I had a call that somebody's in jail while we were back there at Blissful on a Saturday. or they're like, oh, I have medical appointments. Can you come with me? I'm really afraid. So the duty of a monk is to serve people. So right now I have so many projects, So, matter of fact, just like two days. I think right after you told me you were already settled here and you were looking forward to the classes, was when I announced that, oh yeah, I'll be at Blissful tomorrow at 10. But I didn't even put the address like I usually do, because I'm hoping like not a lot of people come, so I can focus more on people that's needed the most, and channel the time where it's needed the most. We had like 10 people right now. We'll sit till like 6 p.m. With the amount, some people have a lot of questions. Yeah. Oh, and that was a nun you guys saw too, by the way, earlier. Yeah, she realized I was, giving a talk, so she's like, "Hey, we're going to say hi, but I'll leave him alone." There's, I believe, like 4 nuns here, 4 nuns, and then there's also rotating monks that come and visit all the time. So usually it's like 4 or 5 monks in there, and 4 nuns, and they have different living quarters. Examples of rebirth, the animal realm. Those who still have ignorance. Those who are ignorant of the Four Noble Truths will rebirth into the animal realm. Because all animals know how to do is sleep, wake up, hunt. That's it. They can't really do much. They fall into the ignorant. Passes away, they go in there, they run into the ashes over there. And it is more customary respect to the deceased and ancestors. And this is actually new. The one behind this was the original one, but then it's expanded. Now we're going to go to one step, which is we're going to go down to the St. Pete Pier. The St. Pete Pier. And that's where you guys, matter of fact, we can actually take a nice walk onto the pier. It's like our exercise there. For all the food that we've eaten, we take an exercise there. And then you guys can see the oceans on both sides. So if you guys want, you guys can just follow. You guys can just follow me. Steven's in the SUV. I'll be in the white car. And then once we get into the general area, you guys will know where I'm parking. Then you guys just find parkings around nearby, and then we'll center wherever we need to center. But I just wanted to take this moment. Usually I do the temple tours for students that stay a little longer, but I realized that this may have an impact and impression on you before you leave. And at home.
So is that the temple open for public? Or is it
I
only
don't-
on Sunday?
I don't think so. Just the Sundays.
Okay.
I don't think so. Everyone's all fixing stuff. They're all over the place. I don't have the key because I'm not the admin. Yeah, only for Sundays. Usually, back in the day, it used to be open to the public every single day, especially the chanting times. But now they have a lot of renovation stuff going on. But pretty much you get that Buddha, but gold inside, in the center. Yeah. This is the one that you guys have ever seen the shirts or the canvases? The shirts and the canvases of the Buddha relaxing, and also she sits in her knees. Like if you go back to my timeline, you will see this Buddha kind of relaxing. So in Theravada tradition, we have the one and only historical Gautama Buddha, which is right there. But because of our tradition, because of the Vietnamese people who are also Mahayanan and Theravadins. You have a mixture of people that come into the temple, and so we also have Phật Thích Ca, Phật Ayida, and then you have. So there you're gonna see that it's more common nowadays that you see different Buddhas that is not with Theravada, but just because everyone identifies with certain Buddhas through time or culture. And then usually I don't say anything at all with the future Buddha, but that's Maitreya. Usually when I say the future Buddha, and they're like, when is he coming? And I'm like, not in this lifetime.